So what is my advice for fundraising? First and foremost, this is the one area where you can easily be better than most people. Most people don't fundraise well because they're afraid to fundraise well. Most people are convinced they can't fundraise well. Most people are ashamed to fundraise well, and so nobody tries. And I firmly believe that most anything we want to do, we can learn, and most anything we don't do often, we don't do well. And the number of people I have met in our space who are doing tremendous, daring, truly courageous work that most people in the world would look at and go, wow, I can't believe you do that, will say, I am terrified to look somebody in the eye and ask them for money to support my work. And so that's a problem for them, but that's a problem for our sector as a whole. So why are people terrified to fundraise? I think the fundamental mistake we make is we undervalue our own work, and we undervalue what we're offering to somebody. So fundraising feels like begging. Fundraising feels like you should tell me if I'm valuable by giving me money or not. And what we forget is if somebody has the resources to fund what we're doing, every time somebody chooses to do that, they are getting the deal, not us. They're not doing us a favor. We are offering them something of greater value than they are giving us in return in the form of the money that they're giving us. So I think the starting conversation that we all need to have with ourselves is about what's our narrative about the power dynamics that are going on here, and is there a way, with respect and with humility, to show up as an equal to the person from whom you're fundraising. And then the other suggestion I would have is to really, really drastically reframe rejection, right? So first of all, because we have a message to get out in the world. And so if I get rejected 9 out of 10 times or 99 out of 100 times, presumably the people who rejected me are powerful, influential, respected, and they may come back in the future. So my opportunity to spend an hour with those 99 people and maybe change their mind about something I'm devoting my life to is already a valuable undertaking. And so I think we have the wrong scorecard to say, every person who says no, I failed. Every person who says no might have learned from me. I hopefully learned from them. And maybe I'm changing their mind. The other thing is it takes a lot of time. So I think we, again, need to be in that dialogue. But I think mostly we talk ourselves out of successful fundraising long before we ever kind of get in the room with somebody. And when I talk to people who say they're bad fundraisers, you know, one suggestion that I once got that I then pass on is, how many times have you been rejected? Almost everybody who says they're a terrible fundraiser, they don't say I've been rejected 1,000 times or 100 times. They say, oh, well, I don't really do much fundraising because it's so scary. So we're back to this thing of, fine, then go get rejected 100 times and see what happens. So I think that there's just a lot of us not actually doing the work. Then there's some of the technique of how do you fundraise well. But I actually think most of our shortcomings is that we don't actually do it in the first place.